Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic first week of school. Um, I am so impressed by your participation in live sessions, all of the work being handed in so far. This is how I want it to be the whole semester through. So keep up the good work. There are just a couple of things that I've come across where a few students, I think, have had issues or trouble with a couple of different things. So want to make sure to clarify a couple of things. So I want you to watch this video, and learning coaches, of course, I would love for you to watch it as well. Um, but one of the things is on the discussion board. Several of you have gone into the raise your hand post and just posted, hello, I'm practicing, and that's okay. But I do want to just kind of clarify what this post is for. Right now, it is locked because I had a lot of just kind of random posts going in there. But basically, this is like if you were sitting in a classroom and you had a question about an assignment, you would raise your hand, right? So this is for basically just that. If as the semester's going on and you have a question about any assignment, it's when you are going to ask, you know, do we need to have citations in this? Or do we need to, how many paragraphs does this need to be? Things like that. Also, you're more than welcome to email me, but usually if there's a question about an assignment, multiple people have the same question. So this is a great place to get those questions answered. Um, what I do not want this to be is where you're communicating back and forth with each other as like a chat type situation. Those things I will be deleting immediately because it's hard for me to scroll through all those. So if you have a question about any assignment, that's what you're coming here for. This is not an assignment. You do not need to respond here. If you don't have any questions, you don't need to put anything here. All right. So I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. And then the introduce yourself assignment. I did have a few people post the introduce yourself assignment here. Those have been deleted out. So if you are one who has done that, you need to make sure that you post the assignment here. Also, I've had a few people who have been posting like one, just like one question, and that's it. To get full credit for that discussion board assignment, you have to answer all 10 of those questions. Okay, so just to make sure that's a clarification for you. All right. So the other thing that I want to chat with you about really quick and just make sure that we have clarity on how it works is that once you are um, submitting your assignment, and let's say it's August 21st, and you have not submitted this introduce yourself assignment to the class. What happens at that point is I will zero out that assignment. What that means is until I zero it out, it's actually not counting against you in the class. So it's like it's not even there. So I have to put a zero in. So, and that at that point turns that assignment into an F. I've gotten a lot of emails about, can I turn it in late? Am I allowed to turn it in? Will I still get full credit? Absolutely. You will get full credit on that assignment. There will be very few assignments that I will not allow you to turn in late. There's a couple of things here and there that I can't because we have to do things on a specific time, specifically like interim tests and things like that. Those can't be turned in late. But for the most part, everything will be able to be turned in late. And if you were in live session, we talked about the assignment closing date. Like I said, for orientation and literary review week, those assignments will not have a close date until the end of the semester. When the assignments start closing out is when we're going to get down here to our actual unit one. There will be assignment close dates. At that point, that is when you are no longer able to submit an assignment. So let's say we have an assignment that's due on September the 4th, and I close it out on September 13th in this 11 unit. after September 13th, you would not be able to submit that assignment. So you're not going to get points taken off for it being late. You're not going to, you are going to be able to submit it up into the close date. Okay, so that's what I want to make sure that you're understanding. Where we have a little bit of problem in my class and learning coaches, this is what I really want you to pay attention to and make sure that students understand and that they're not stressing too much about this, is we definitely want them to be turning in assignments on those due dates. However, we all know they're going to get a notification. So if they don't turn in, if they didn't turn in this orientation assignment by the 20th, they should have got a notification that it was late. So that's good. But what I don't want them doing is just rushing to turn an assignment in just to get rid of that notification. That notification is just that. It's just a notification. That assignment close date is the important thing that we're really concerned about because they need to make sure to get in that assignment by the close date. So to keep them on track, yes, assignments need to be due and they need to be due on a certain date. But what happens is if a student repeatedly starts turning in assignments on the due date, but they're turning in blank or random assignments, then at that point, I will be emailing them or notifying them that they have one opportunity to resubmit it. But if they submit another assignment that is random or blank, they will not have the opportunity to resubmit because they're just trying to get rid of that notification. And that's not what we want to make sure is important to them. What's important to them is getting the assignment done correctly. Yes, getting it done on time is a great thing as well, but that close date is what we're really emphasizing because that's when that assignment is no longer due. I know things come up and people just sometimes they don't get things handed in quite on time, and I totally understand that. But that turning in assignments when it is actually not complete or you're submitting a random health assignment for English just to get rid of the due date, that becomes a habitual problem. And that's going to be a big red flag in the future. Okay. And then the other last point I want to make is just when you're going through assignments, just make sure to read directions. It's super important. There's a lot of questions that I'm getting that are answered in the directions for the assignment. So just make sure that you're going through reading those directions. That's going to help you clarify a lot of things. After you've done that and watched the video, if you still have questions, absolutely email me. Let me know whatever questions you have. I'm more than happy to answer them. But be sure to read directions first because that's super important and follow directions for assignments. There will be several assignments that will just send back to you because the directions haven't been followed or something is not correct with whatever it is that's being submitted. So just really important to make sure you're following directions. So with that, it's been a great first week. I'm super excited. Our live session schedule next week, just make sure that you're looking at the announcements. The live session schedule will be posted next week down here. And you'll see that probably around Sunday night, or it'll be on Sunday night. I usually post all this on Sunday night. And you'll be able to see that, or Monday morning when you wake up and pop into class. But have a fantastic rest of your week. And if you do have questions or concerns, please let me know. And I will do whatever I can to help you. One more thing before I forget, the readiness test. I do have to manually enter those grades. So if you do the readiness test, those grades will go in as well as the discussion board assignment. So those take just a little bit of time for me to go in and switch those over. Just know I'm not sitting at my computer as you submit, like putting those in. I kind of do those in bunches throughout the day. So those will be submitted by the end of the day if you've or the grades will be entered by the end of the day if you put those in there. So, all right. Thank you guys.